Hey, what's up guys? Today I'll show you a science fiction action film, Ghost in the Shell. Spoiler ahead, watch out and take care. In the future, thanks to technological advancement, people begin to use biochemical organs to empower their flesh and blood. With the government support, the company Hanka Robotics takes aggressive actions. In order to maximize the strengths of both human and biochemical organs, they migrate human brains to pure biochemical bodies to make biochemical human. Mila is the first successful example of the man-made biochemical human. She is later sent by Hanka Robotics to join the 9th Division of Public Security, a team aiming to prevent terrorist attacks. 1 year later, in a city flickered by neon lights, Mila stands on top of a skyscraper, observing and waiting for the orders. While inside the building across the street, one executive of Hanka Robotics is having a business meeting with an African president. A geisha robot kidnaps the executive rudely and forces to connect to his e-brain. Seeing the situation is getting out of control, Mila jumps down from the top and activates her invisibility without orders from her team leader. Although Mila eliminates all killers real quick, the hacker behind this assassination still steals some data from the executive's e-brain, leaving a warning that one must die if he cooperates with Hanka Robotics. A teammate shows up later and handles a potential bombing. Seeing the geisha robot lying on the ground and her own wounded hand, Mila wonders about any difference between herself and other robots. The next day, Mila learns of the death of another 2 executives, and more data have been stolen by the same hacker. After handing out the task to investigate these 3 cases, the team leader warns Mila again that it is too risky to take actions alone, as she's not just a weapon, but also their beloved teammates. Later, Mila visits a doctor in Hanka Robotics to repair her broken hand, explaining that there is a vision of a burning temple occurring in her mind occasionally. The doctor analyzes her data and comforts her that the vision may occur when her human brain runs against her biochemical body, and it would disappear if she keeps taking medicine. But Mila has more worries than that. She has a human soul, but she cannot emerge into this world as a real human does, as she doesn't have any past or any folks she want to care about. In another lab, the expert finds nothing after checking the geisha robots. Mila suggests she sneaks into its brain to get some information, which means she may be exposed completely in front of the hacker without any protection, as no password could be used during this process. Mila's trapped in the e-brain of the geisha robot soon as what they worried. Fortunately, the teammate cuts her off the sneaking connection, and Mila escapes at last. Then, Mila and the teammates decide to visit the nightclub she found during the sneaking connection. The whole team switched to mind communication mode. Right after entering the club, she gets trapped by some hormone hunters in a secret chamber with all the communication signals blocked up. But in a joint effort with her following up teammate, she gets rid of those bad guys very easily. Then she and the teammate search all the way down to the basement, where she sees the hacker suddenly appears there. But after several shots, she realizes what she sees is just a holographic projection, and the hacker triggers the hidden bombs via remote control, causing both of them to be badly injured. Mila is brought to life again in the lab. The doctor is working on repairing her badly damaged body and changing the teammates' wounded eyes into biochemical ones. However, the expert who has been investigating the geisha robot is found dead in her lab later. Through what she has already discovered, Mila learns that the hacker has been trying to get the name list of all participants of a plan called 2571 in Hanka Robotics. And the expert is the last one on the name list who is still alive. At the same time, 2 garbage guys are hacked to their e-brains and controlled by the hacker. They drive a garbage truck and stop the doctor by overturning her car. They kill her assistant immediately, but keep the doctor alive, forcing her to tell any information about Plan 2571. Fortunately, Mila and her team arrive on time, and the doctor is rescued. One of the garbage guys tries to escape through the invisible mode. However, he's no match to Mila. She traces him down and intercepts him, beating him to near death with her bare hands, but she is stopped by the teammate. However, when Mila starts to interrogate the garbage guy, who is under no control of the hacker right now, the garbage guy seems to know little about what he has done previously. Just as Mila and her team are about to give up, the hacker, however, again hacked into the brain of the garbage guy and starts to challenge Mila. This enables her team to locate the hacker's position. After a thorough search in a slum, Mila is astonished to find a special network, which is built by the hacker through human consciousness, that well explains why the hacker could commit numerous crimes without being found. As Mila investigates further, the vision of a burning temple flashes again in her mind. A group of people jump out from the dark and knock her out with an electric shock. She wakes up but cannot move, and finds herself connected to the special network. The hacker shows great interest in Mila after reading her codes. The hacker tells her that they are both experimental examples of Plan 2571, but he is a defective product since his brain is not able to connect with the biochemical body as good as Mila's does. Therefore, Hanka Robotics simply throws his body along with his brain to a trash can, and that is why he won a revenge against the company. But Mila doesn't believe his smelly garbage shit. Surprisingly, the hacker releases her, and bears her repeated hits with no resistance. Later, Mila finds a tattoo on the hacker's chest, the exact same temple which always flashes in her mind. The hacker tells her it also keeps showing up in his dream, and reminds her to stop taking medicine given by the company. Mila is shocked a lot by that. The hacker breaks through the gunfire of the teammate, and then disappears. To figure out the truth, the confused Mila goes to challenge the doctor. Without any choice, the doctor finally admits that before Mila, they have failed 98 times in the past. What's more, Mila's memories about her parents dying of terrorist attacks are all made up by Hanka Robotics, so as to keep her more concentrated on her current job. After learning the truth, Mila feels extremely disappointed and leaves with anger. Seeing the pain of Mila, the doctor also realizes how inhumane these tests are. After that, Mila disappears by hiding in the midnight zone in the ocean, the only place she could feel the reality about herself. A while later, thanks to the encouragement from her teammate, she finally returns to Hanka Robotics and continues her mission. Mila's injected with a tranquilizer. Once she shows up, the company boss feels it's not as easy to control Mila as they used to, so he orders the doctor to destroy Mila thoroughly. Although the doctor tries hard to persuade the boss, he just regards Mila as a weapon. In order to rescue Mila, the doctor secretly changes the shot, which could release her from the tranquilizer, rather than destroy her. Mila then clears her way out of the Hanka Robotics, and flees away. Finding that Mila has escaped, the boss bursts into anger, and kills the doctor. He then informs the team leader that Mila murdered the doctor, and want to force the team leader to stay out of it. But the team leader presents his gun to show his choice. Meanwhile, from the clues the doctor gave her before she died, Mila finds an apartment. A lady living there tells Mila the way Mila looks at her reminds her of her daughter, who had been reported dead by the police 1 year ago. But the lady still believes her daughter is alive. After leaving, Mila plans to disclose crimes of the company, but the doctor is already dead. They need to find another witness. In order to find the hacker and persuade him to be the witness, Mila reconnects herself to the network. However, the boss has monitored Mila's correspondence and sends out his men to kill the team leader, who, however, is skillful enough to get rid of those killers. Since stopping to take the medicines from the company, Mila memorizes more about the past, so she returns to a place she used to be. Upon seeing the real temple, Mila finally recalls that she is the lady's missing daughter, and the hacker is actually her boyfriend. There are even names they carved on the wall of the temple. Right then, the hacker shows up. As they are gonna miss their happy old times, bombs start to explode massively. Under the protection of the hacker, Mila is left uninjured, while the hacker is severely hurt. The boss attacks them again, with a remote control spider tank, so as to destroy all the crime evidence. Under its fierce gunfire, Mila is forced to step back. Then, the spider tank moves toward the hacker, trying to smash his human brain. After realizing its intention, Mila activates her invisible mode, and jumps to the top of the tank. She takes the remote controlling unit off at her full strength, but at the sacrifice of her own biochemical body. As the huge tank collapses, Mila also falls down, and cannot move her scrapped body. The boss then sends a sniper to bump off the hacker's head right in front of Mila. The 9th Division team arrives on time, and shoots the sniper down, before he could make the next move. The teammate finally saves Mila. Meanwhile, the team leader has located where the boss hides, and shoots him dead for his betrayal of the government. Mila gets her body repaired, and finally reunites with her mother. Mila believes the man-made biochemical body cannot confine her soul, and only her actions could prove her true human nature. So Mila returns to the 9th Division, and becomes the sharpest blade against terrorism in the cyber world. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Peace out.